So I get the delusion. My cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my stepsister were living a life of luxury, living a life of leisure. They were associating with rich, powerful, and interesting people. They were having the time of their lives for the past 20 years, and they were excluding me. I'm told there's a nugget of truth and there's a kernel of truth in all my delusions. Though my cousins are police officers, one works in a hospital, another one is a sonogram technician, and another is a professor. These aren't rich, powerful, or interesting people. They probably were living significantly better lives, and they were excluding me because of my mental illness. So, while, obviously there's a nugget or kernel of truth to that delusion. Somebody asks, obviously when it comes to thinking a rock star is your biological father, for example, or thinking a pop superstar is madly in love with you. There's a kernel of truth in that delusion too. Obviously I want to be rich, I want to be famous, and obviously I had a disappointing parental figures who were often absent in my times of need. For example, like, there were incidents when I was getting bullied in school and I got physically assaulted, and my father was absent. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, a powerful pop star was my biological father. Well, but like I said, there's kernels of truth, there's nuggets of truth to all my delusions. Obviously the delusion, that my parents were running a pedophile ring and sexually abused me, that delusion, for example. Obviously I was involuntarily celibate, I desired romance, and the kernel of truth there is I wanted my mother and father to help me meet a girlfriend. I wanted them to help me meet a romantic partner. But it's my responsibility to get independent. It's my and I blamed my parents by bringing charges of sexual perversity. Though I'm told, obviously, it was a delusion. There's a kernel of truth to it. There's a nugget of truth to it. What's another common delusion I get? I don't know. Let's say, somebody asked me, like, let's say hypothetically speaking, your father went away, or passed away, and I have, obviously Dr. Garrett to thank for the progress I made in therapy. Like my parents didn't have much money. They were working class people, and they could have purchased me an expensive car. What they chose to do instead was get me the best therapy. My parents weren't millionaires. My parents weren't these important people. They were middle class. And I should be thankful for all they've done for me, because a lot of people in my situation didn't get the best therapy. They didn't get the love I got from my parents. And a lot of people with schizoaffective disorder wind up in a much worse spot. So, while my parents could have purchased me, they chose to purchase me the best in therapy, and I should thank them for that.